reminds me of when I have many, many weddings, and one of the things I tell people, and at baptisms too, is something's probably going to go wrong, and it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. But I will say, don't let the rings be on the back of a dog's collar. Don't do that. Have pretend rings on the back of the dog's collar. A friend of my daughter's got married, and they had the real rings on the dog's collar, and the beginning of the wedding was everyone crawling around the grass and finding the rings, which they found, and all is well. How are you today? Is your glass half empty or half full? Is your glass too small or too big? Have you lost your glass? Is it dirty? Is it shattered and scattered? Is it all that? It's the Thanksgiving season. 'Tis the season to be jolly. It's coming up. I don't put my lights up, and we only have like a couple of lights. I wait till Thanksgiving is over. I'm a purist, at least in that. And so I wait. But must we be thankful now? It's required. Thanksgiving. You will be thankful. Does that sound how you are? How about these songs? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Right? Okay. That's okay when you're happy, but what if you're not happy? Or how about this? Floods of joy over my soul, like the sea billows roll, since Jesus came into my heart, right? Amen. Except when you're not having floods of joy over your soul, like sea billows rolling, right? Are you happy all the time? And there's the song, Put On a Happy Face, right? And it says, put on a happy face. It's like your face really isn't happy, but you've got to put one on. Always look on the bright side of life. What's Thanksgiving to a turkey? All right, so here's where we are. This is my Thanksgiving sermon, and Thanksgiving is a part of our faith. But Thanksgiving is a more rich and nuanced thing than just put on a happy face. I'm going to talk about different kind of levels and ways of Thanksgiving. First of all, let me share Psalm 100, which is a psalm of praise and thanksgiving. Listen to it with your heart and your mind. This is how it goes. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come into His presence with singing. Know that the Lord is God. It is He that made us, and we are His. We are His people, and the sheep of His pasture. Enter His gates with thanksgiving, and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him. Bless His name. For the Lord is good. His steadfast love endures forever, and His faithfulness to all generations. How did that sound to you? Did it sound like it was too much praise, too little praise, or just right? For some of us, it's a time to dig down, and it's hard to be thankful. For other of us, we could just be bubbling. It's all part of life. What's the difference between fake it until you make it and honest to God? Fake it till you make it is like, because I know this is how I'm supposed to be, I'm going to very much try to be that thing I'm supposed to be, even though I don't feel like it and it's not really working for me. That's fake it till you make it. And they say that'll get you pretty far. You show up and you dress right, you keep your mouth shut, people will think you belong. And you can fake it until you do belong and you do make it. But sometimes it's hard, and you may feel that disconnect, and And you're putting on a happy face that really isn't being honest to God or honest to others. Now, if someone just says, "Hey, how you doing?" Normally what we say is fine, because we know we're not being invited into a deep, intimate conversation. It's just a social nicety that we do. So no one is really expecting you to say something other than fine. And that's fine. But if you're in a deeper relationship, a more intimate relationship, and someone says, "How are you doing?" then it's okay to say, "I am not fine. I am being honest to you. I am not thankful. I am not happy. I am not well. I am sad. I am depressed. I am broken. I am struggling." That's the truth too sometimes. So, when we're in a season where we're supposed to be thankful, and we even have scriptures that say, "In everything give thanks." So we're told that we're supposed to be thankful all the time. But how does that really work? Sometimes we're thankful out of fear. We think that we're supposed to be thankful, and if we're not thankful, we'll get in worse trouble, so we'll be thankful because we're afraid things will get worse. Like God is watching out and saying, "Oh, you weren't thankful enough, so now you're going to pay." That's a lesser view of God than the one that I hold and I hope you hold, and that is that God is love, God is light, meaning truth, and God is spirit, that means life, and that God, the fear we have of God is a fear that comes from the awesome otherness and the presence and the existence itself of reality, the awesomeness of the direct experience of God and the awareness of God in all things. That's what I think of when I think of fear. I think of this. I don't think of like, "Oh, please don't hit me, please don't hit me." So Thanksgiving is hopefully not based out of being afraid of God. Because if you're not thankful, you're breaking some scripture somewhere and you're going to get it. I hope it's not out of fear. And I hope that Thanksgiving wouldn't be out of guilt. Like you're just atoning for past difficulties and problems. Like I got it wrong before, like last Thanksgiving I really screwed up, so this Thanksgiving I'm going to try to get it right. Well, I understand. I hope you do. But but guilt, again, is something where we're released from, we're forgiven, and we're okay. So we don't need to be thankful because we're guilty. We can be thankful because we're forgiven. And then there's manipulation, where we're thankful because we're trying to get something. And that is where, we go, "Oh, you're such a generous person. I just love your apple pies." And you talk to someone like that. "Yes, you make the very best apple pies that I've ever had. Remember how you gave me an apple pie last Thanksgiving? I'm so thankful for that." Right? You see where it's going? We're trying to work it, right? We're trying to get another apple pie. And so sometimes Thanksgiving with God is like that. We think we're going to sort of like work God into our side somehow, as if God doesn't already love us and doesn't care for us. And so that's where we're saying Thanksgiving is kind of like, "I'm being a very good boy, God. Look at, you're just very nice to me, and I thank you so much." But we're really just trying to manipulate God. God sees through that and still loves us anyway. But so that's a kind of fake it till you make it. But there's this Psalm 100 that I read is more of, I think, a thanksgiving that just comes from the sheer joy and awareness of God that comes over us sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Think for yourself. I hope you don't have to go back too far. Of one of the last times when you were somewhere and you just thought to yourself, "Boy, this is wonderful. I feel great. I'm happy inside. What a beautiful moment this is." I hope you all have some of those once in a while. Now, if you're fighting depression and some of these things, sometimes it can be a long time back, and it just seems like everything is flat and gray. But it happens. I can tell you, as for myself, I see Park Church, and after 10 years, I'm still happy to see you and Park Church. How does that happen? But I stepped outside the parking lot after choir, after everyone else had gone. I feel so good and rich and joyful inside. I see the building and I think about all of you and this ministry, and my heart is filled with joy and thanksgiving. Lots of times. Not all the times, but lots of times. I pray that you have those times of genuine thanksgiving where you're not faking it until you make it, but you're being honest to God, and you just plain are happy. And it's just wonderful, but you know it. You all probably know people who are very blessed and have a lot going for them, and they're miserable anyway. And you might know some people who you think ought to be miserable, but strangely enough, they've got a faith and a joy in them that's almost inexplicable. We see this many times with people who know they're going to die. People in pain. And some of them, instead of being afraid and bitter, some of them are like, I'm grateful for all the blessings that have come in my life. And I see this as a pastor many times. And I hope when my time of death comes, I'm going to be like that. But I don't know. I don't know until I die how I'm going to do with that. But I'm going to try to work on having that transcending thanksgiving. I'm calling it like not a thanksgiving out of fear, not the natural thanksgiving out of feeling, but the deep thanksgiving that's out of faith, which is where I'm not trying to manipulate God, but I'm seeing things deeper. So on the wall of a concentration camp where I was told a Gestapo headquarters, I don't know, it's hard to tell online, but this was on a wall that they found in Europe. This is a poem they believe from I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but someone I've heard that is Jewish. I can't tell from reading it. But listen, I believe in the sun even when it is not shining. And I believe in love even when there's no one there. And I believe in God, even when He is silent. I believe through any trial, there's always a way. But sometimes in this suffering and hopeless despair, my heart cries for shelter, to know someone's there. But a voice rises within me saying, hold on, my child, I'll give you strength. I'll give you hope. Just stay a little while. I believe in the sun even when it's not shining, and I believe in love even when there's no one there, but I believe in God even when He is silent. I believe through any trial there is always a way. May there someday be sunshine. May there someday be happiness. May there someday be love. May there someday be peace. Not speaking of that deep faith in spite of, or in the very face of, unthinkable difficulties. That's the thanksgiving of faith. In Habakkuk, he says it like this. He's old and his country's in trouble, and he says, I hear and I tremble within, my lips quiver at the sound, rottenness enters into my bones, and my steps tremble beneath me. I wait quietly for the day of calamity to come upon the people who attack us. Though the fig tree does not blossom and no fruit is on the vines, though the produce of the olive fails and the fields yield no food, though the flock is cut off from the fold and there is no herd in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will exalt in the God of my salvation. How can we get into the kind of faith that's like that, this heroic faith, where we can have thanksgiving even in the face of our difficulties? Well, first of all, it takes difficulties. Not everyone has face the same difficulties, do we? But with the difficulties you have, you can face them in that. And perhaps there's some effort in it, but ultimately it's grace. So how does it work? It mostly, I think, works by not quitting. By not quitting. By holding fast. And I can tell you, as your pastor, that I have watched you and seen you as a people go through many difficulties. And I have seen your faith, and you have been my teachers. As much as I have been your teacher, I have learned important things from you about facing difficulties. And I am thankful for God and thankful for you. The truth is, we cycle through all these kinds of thanksgiving. The happy, easy kind, the kind where we're just putting on a happy face, and the deep way of faith. But I pray for you this Thanksgiving that mostly you will have that just plain easy natural joy of all the blessings that you have.